Let's talk tools for a little bit because I think
Sure.
there's over like 15,000 of them out there.
Oh, just
Um,
today, I think there was 15,000 new ones.
well, that's exactly my number is a little bit old. So I guess there's two ways to think about this. One is sort of which model do you like the best, and two is sort of what are some of those maybe micro tools or things that you use on a regular basis, especially as a marketer.
Yeah. The interesting thing with the tools is number one that you want to make sure that you have a very specific challenge or breakdown that you're looking to solve, right? So that's the first thing. And I'm a guy that I prefer Claude over Chat. I think it's a little more circumspect and professional.
Hmm.
And then my favorite though is Perplexity because it actually brings in citations, and so you can track down where it's getting the information that it's then generating the content from, and that, as we know, is super critical because the hallucinations in the LLMs are still prevalent. So we use a lot of stuff, obviously a lot of video stuff like you do. I use a product called Clipscribe, which is a video clipper and titler. Opus Clips, of course, we use that. And then literally, I just sent an email to my project manager today. I said, "Hey, it's time that we look for a replacement for Zapier because it's getting more and more expensive, and all the things that happens from legacy software, which is funny that Zap is a legacy software now, and
Yeah.
and there's 10 alternatives that are half as expensive and three times as dynamic. So the level of automation that we're going to see in the next 3 years for mundane tasks is pretty phenomenal, and those are the tools that I'm really looking for more than creative or creation tools, because I believe me as the human driving content, it should really, the spark should come from me. But anything that's mundane or repetitive, that should get replaced by software.
Yeah, I love what you said about the spark or the magic. You got to keep that in your business, and I think you have to evaluate what your business is and what is that magic, and figure that out first. And don't try to automate that or replicate that. But how do you automate everything else so that you can do more of that is huge. You brought up some really great points there, because I think for tools, I heard this from a marketing leader, head of global brand and strategy yesterday. And she said one of the legacy softwares wanted to raise their price $30,000 for this enterprise software. And,
Right.
and I just said, do they not realize that every other tool is baking these in to stuff that we already have in our
Right.
CRM, or there's a new tool for $20 a month that does the
Right.
same thing that they're doing? I think we're past those days, and it sounds like you agree that you probably shouldn't get hung up on tools or building your business around a certain system, even if it's a CRM system or a Zapier or something else. I think you need to be flexible these days and willing to try new stuff, because it's going to change so fast here before things settle out, and things keep getting bought and changed and uh, go out of business or replaced or then given away for free, like with Notebook LM, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh well, I
Yep.
was paying for a tool that did that. Now it's free today, so I better go switch over there.
Yeah, and if you just say, let's just say AI voice, right? Like, uh, every business should be looking at how to lever AI voice right now, today, starting this minute. I just saw a phenomenal tool that was a $70 one-time purchase. That is a
Yeah.
inbound, outbound AI voice tool that sounds perfect. 3 months ago, that would have been a $5,000 plus $1,000 a month, blah blah blah. So that's an area where, especially if you're a retail or your service, where you have to have even business hour communications, but especially 24/7 communication. The AI voice agent is a spot where you can invest 10 hours of time from your team and get and basically manage a full-time equivalent outcome for a very small amount of money now.
Yeah, I've seen that with chatbots and stuff too. There's a really cool one that's like $100 a month, and you can load up basically like a custom wiki or a custom GPT where it has
Yep.
maybe all of your product knowledge base or all your customer service questions, and you could load up, you know, whatever, all the books you've written, and you could have the uh, Manuel, and we could all
Yeah.
ask you expert questions, and it would generate the answers. And there's this cool slider which will determine its creativity. So
Right.
if you put it over to 100, it'll hallucinate and do exactly what ChatGPT does and make up answers. Or you can slide it all the way to 0, and it'll be like, no, if it's not in these documentations we're provided, say sorry, I don't have that information.
Oh, nice.
And that's really valuable. Think about HR documents or internal things where there's just a ton of policies, or you have maybe a wholesaler or something where you have thousands of products and nuts and bolts, and you need to query this database like for $100 a month. Think of the amount of time and energy that could save you or your clients and your team.
Yeah, and then you're able to reallocate the time from that person who was doing that kind of work into something that's forward thinking or creative, or, you know, next quarter's challenges.